Hi guys, and welcome back to another episode in our Rise of the Moors series. So we're towards the end of September in our third season in charge now, and we're sitting atop of the League Two. I didn't really know how good a squad we'd built this year, and in fairness, a lot of the coach reports suggest that we're quite an average team in comparison to a lot of the other teams in our division. But actually, we've built a really competitive squad this year, and the team seem to be both difficult to beat and scoring freely, which is really pleasing. So we've had a really productive month since the last episode. We advanced in the Johnston's Paint Trophy, beating Northampton at home, and on top of that, we've picked up 3 wins out of 4 in League 2. So let's take a look at the highlights of those games now. So we started those results with a good 2-1 win at home to Northampton, this time in the Johnson's Paint Trophy South first round. 2 goals to Carl McFarlane in this game, and both assists coming from Ben Glasgow picked up man of the match. It was poor marking from us that led to their equaliser just before half time, but we were rarely threatened in this game by Northampton. We controlled it, and we did have opportunities to win by a much bigger margin in this fixture. And then came a really difficult tie away at Southend. So Southend, one of the favourites for the title this season, one of the bigger teams in the division. Defensive errors from our left back leading to all 3 of their goals. Ben Purrington started the game at left back, but I pulled him off at half time because he did have a really poor opening 45 minutes for us, and Tyler Reid came on as his replacement, but unfortunately Reid had 2 mistakes that led to both penalties in the second half, and Southend won the game 3-2 on the back of that. But on the whole, we played some really pleasing stuff in this game, so that was something good to take away from this fixture. I think a draw would have been a just result for us in this game, and actually the victory for Southend put them on top of the table. But we bounced back in some fashion, and it was an absolute demolition job of Plymouth. Yes, we allowed 12 shots on goal, only the 4 on target from Plymouth, but they rarely threatened us, and it was a hat-trick for both Geraldo Martin and Carl McFarlane in this game. 4 of our goals came in the second half, and it was 4 assists for Ben Glasgow, who was in a shout for player of the match here, but above 9 ratings for Glasgow, Geraldo Martin and Carl McFarlane, with player of the match going to Geraldo Martin here. And Martin wasn't done there. In the following game away at Accrington, he bagged a brace again, and that got him player of the match, and it was goals either side of the break here. Accrington edged us on shots, but again they rarely threatened our defence, but it was some really clinical finishing from the Moors here that grabbed us victory. And our defensive performance continued into the following game, where we were pretty comfortable at home to AFC Wimbledon. Rowan Liebird with the goal to settle it between the clubs. We had so many other opportunities to extend that lead, but unfortunately we just couldn't take it in this game. But a clean sheet again was really pleasing, and Ben Glasgow yet again picking up player of the match here. And we followed that game with our Capital One Cup third round at home to Cardiff, so it was a pretty good draw for the Moors here. We avoided all of the other Premiership teams in the round, so a game at home to Cardiff where I knew we could be competitive, and we pushed them right to the end. 1-1 after extra time, and unfortunately we lost on penalties with both Geraldo Martin and Ben Purrington missing their spot kicks. But we gave them a really good game here, and there's no shame in losing to Cardiff on penalties, knowing that they are a good quality Championship team. So unfortunately our Capital Cup run finished at this fixture, but a fantastic few performances from the Moors in the Cups so far already this season, and those results have left the league table looking like this. We were playing second fiddle to Southend for much of the last month on the back of their victory over us a few games ago, but actually they dropped points in their last outing, and our 3 back-to-back wins in the league have put us on 22 points from 9 games. And as you can see there, our goal difference is already plus 17. So we've conceded a few, granted, but we've scored so many goals in both league and cup competitions so far, and it was really that 6-1 demolition of Plymouth that's really helped our goals for. We also had the end of the transfer window since the last episode as well. A couple of bits of business from us. We've managed to bring in another midfielder to bolster our central midfield, and this was a player that I was really hopeful that I could bring in earlier in the season, but unfortunately he was asking for far too much money on his wages. But he seems to have reduced his expectations for salary since the end of pre-season, and that has allowed us to bring in a player called Henry Jones. So he's come from the Swansea youth system. He's a Welsh central midfielder, 24 years old. He's got a little bit of potential left in him, but actually his stats are quality. Technically, he's fantastic. We need to up his physique if he's going to be playing in the central midfield. He's only 1.7 metres tall as well, so his heading and his jumping aren't fantastic. But as you can see there, he looks a really decent player, and he's already worth $250,000 for us. And the other player we've actually managed to move on is John Paul Pittman. He will be joining Forest Green in the January transfer window. That deal has been arranged. He got himself injured in training, unfortunately, so we couldn't push his transfer through before the end of the August deadline day. but his deal has been agreed, so that'll be near enough £1,000 off our wage bill. And as you can see, standard Solihull Moors, as we've been seeing over the last few seasons, we are leaking cash. We've lost over £200,000 already this season. Bank balance is okay, sitting on £106,000, but it looks as if we're going to have a decent cup run yet again if we're going to settle our bank account this season. So just touching on the stats then, the player stats for Solihull Moors in our really impressive opening couple of months in the league so far. And as you can see there, Carl McFarlane sitting on 9 goals already for us, of which 5 have come in the league. Callum Martin is actually our top goal scorer in the league. All 8 of the goals that he scored so far this season have all come in League 2, and 6 of Rowan Leibert's 7 goals have come in League 2 as well. So pretty decent goal scoring form already for our main strikers. As far as the assists go, Ben Glasgow already with 9 assists for us so far this season. 5 have come in the league, and Billy Waters has also picked up 5 assists so far for us. Player of the Match award, 3 for Geraldo Martin and 2 apiece for both Ben Glasgow and Carl McFarlane. Pass completion rate, I'll be honest, not fantastic so far this season. We do seem to be giving the ball away a lot more in the middle of the park than we were last season, for example. And actually 84% pass completion rate from our goalkeeper Luke Simpson is actually the highest in the squad so far. But as you can see there, quite a few players already above 80%, so that is definitely something that we're going to be trying to improve over the next few weeks and months. A couple of other stats to show you as well. Heading completion ratio, 86% for Ben Purrington at left back, but 84% from Darnell Johnson at centre back. And the reason I'm picking out that stat to show you is because Darnell Johnson has been an absolute machine at the centre back. Every time there's a long ball forward or a clearance from our opposition, I've got so much confidence in Johnson to step up and win headers. He's really protected our back line in doing so. And quickly looking at our key passes as well, above 50 for both Matthew Willock and Ben Glasgow, so pretty decent return for 12 or so games as well, so I'm quite pleased with that. And looking at our average rating then, 8.05 for Ben Glasgow, who's been phenomenal again for us this year. Henry Jones, 7.82, he's only had the 5 appearances though, but 7.79 for Callum Geraldo Martin, who's been fantastic. So we're away at Port Vale today, so another big team in the league and another team who have been really back to do something good this season, but they're sitting currently in the mid-table, so this will be a tricky fixture for us, I think. So we're missing Matthew Willock, he's out with a wrist injury, so he won't be present for us in the middle of the park. It looks like Port Vale set up 4-4-1-1, so we're going to have to be looking after their attacking midfielder again in this fixture. Not a fantastic form from them, only the 1 win in the last 5 games, so I'm hoping for a good result for us here. And this is the team that we're going to be setting out with. Our usual defensive unit of Ben Purrington, Darnell Johnson, Dion Conroy, Ben Glasgow. They'll be sitting in front of Luke Simpson in goal. Charlie Cooper, Bone making his return from injury, and Henry Jones in the centre of the park. Geraldo on the left, Billy Waters on the right, and McFarlane up top. So as you can see, the cup game against Cardiff going to extra time and going the distance has really taken its toll on the condition and match sharpness of a lot of our players. So that's something that we're going to be having to monitor today. So fitness isn't fantastic, but we really don't have many other options for the middle of the park. Philip Oliver coming back from injury, he's on the bench. We've also got Rowan Liebert, Georgian Tima ready to come on should we need them. And as you can see from the coach rating and role abilities, it's really only our front 3 who are considered fantastic players. Henry Jones, standout central midfielder, but other than that, really average players actually for this sort of league throughout the rest of the team. So that really shows that the tactic and the philosophies are actually helping produce a good quality and consistent start for the Moors in this league. And really we need to be relying on our quality front 3 throughout the season if we're going to be competitive and if we're going to have a successful season. We're going to stay on the standard mentality. We were structured against Cardiff, we're going to revert to flexible against a normal league opposition, and let's see how we can do today. dredging Port Vale as just favourites. This is going to be a really tough game for us today. Port Vale having not a fantastic start to the season, only the 3 wins for them so far, but they're a strong team nonetheless, and we need to be wary about them today. So the setup with an attacking midfielder, so Sam Bone really needs to pick up that player when we're without the ball. I'm hoping for a good quality performance from our front 3 again today, and because of that, sticking tight to their striker and their attacking midfielder, and also closing down all 5 of their midfield players, and just a little bit of faith in the team today, hoping that we can continue with the good performance that we did in the last outing against Cardiff. So the Moors to start, then away at Port Vale. It's going to be quite a tough game, I think. Hoping that the fitness isn't going to impact our performance today. But it's a good opening possession from the Moors, but we haven't created anything. But the 1 shot, 2 shots now from Port Vale. Goal kick to Port Vale, long ball. Cooper gets up highest to make that initial clearance, but Port Vale are back on the ball. Dahl now, their striker. And good tackle from Conroy, and Johnson comes away, but he finds Henry Jones, plays the ball forward. Henry Waters, can he run at the back 4? And Geraldo Martins, oh, what a poor effort. He should have put that away. Good chance from the Moors there, we didn't take it. Lots of opportunities coming from Port Vale, not too many highlights though. Jones, short free kick into Purrington, long ball forward, ineffective, absolutely shocking, and it's going to be an easy catch from Lumley, the goalkeeper. Conroy gets up highest to make that header, but Port Vale on the ball. Bryan now, ball forward to Dahl. Can Ben Glasgow get there? He does, and Simpson will bring it out back to Glasgow. Conroy, long ball forward, and McFarlane isn't the target man, so we need to be playing the ball a little bit safer going forward. Dahl's turned his man and has an effort. It's hit the bar. Bone gets rid of it, but only as far as Duffy at the edge of the area. It's a good block. I think that was from Geraldo Martin, but it's a throw into Port Vale here. Horton, Duffy finds him at the edge. He's beaten 1 man. What a tackle from Purrington. But Horton comes forward into the side netting, I think. Corner, so it must have been a save. Duffy delivers it to the front post. McGivern gets highest, but it's wide, and a goal kick to us. So many opportunities from Port Vale there, but we're going into half time as 0-0. Good possession, and our pass completion rate is pretty decent, but we aren't really creating anything. Just going to tell them that I'm not happy with the performance, because I think they need a bit of encouragement there. I'm going to stick on the standard mentality, but I don't think we're that far away from making any substitutions. So Port Vale to start the second half. It's still 0-0 here, but they seem to have a lot of success going forward. Horton finds Humphrey. Purrington's been beaten there. The ball in. Glasgow gets rid of it. Cooper. It's a good foul to take at the edge of the area. So a few poor performances from the Moors team, Moors players you can see there. We've still got the possession, but we're not really doing anything with it. Rose for Port Vale. McGivern finds Dickinson. A lot of space he's got. Back to Rose. No real pressure on the ball. Bryan into Horton. Again, no pressure. Edwards on the right wing. Gets the cross. Oh, Dahl's missed an absolute sitter. Right, we need to make some changes here because this is just not good enough. I'm bringing Rowan Liebert on. I think this is the game for him. And similarly, I'm going to bring on Georgian Teamer to play on the right wing, but I'm actually going to put Billy Waters into the centre of the park. So Sam Bone's coming off, has had a poor game. Or swap out Waters into the middle. He can play in that central midfield role, but obviously not as good as many of other players there. And I'm going to put him on as a advanced playmaker. Cooper's going to play that central midfield defence role. Our centre backs are pretty tired as well, so I'm actually going to make our third substitution today. It's got Tancock, he's going to be coming on. It's Darnell Johnson, who has been playing pretty well of late, but he looked pretty tired out there, so just a bit of fresh legs at the back. So all 3 substitutions made from the Moors. Half an hour to go. We're being edged on shot count as well, but if we can keep the ball a bit better in the latter half of this game, then I think we might still be able to get something out of this game. So 73 minutes on the clock now, but Port Vale again coming to the attack. Easy passing and easy, but Ben Glasgow gets a good tackle in, into Rowan Liebert's feet. It beats 1 man. What can he do with the ball now? Long ball forward and really never going to make it. Out to Geraldo Martin there. Port Vale on the attack. Duffy, wrong side of Ben Glasgow. He's into the box. Has an effort. It sees wide. I I'm just going to give them a bit more encouragement again. Players are awfully tired going into the last 15-20 minutes of this game. Lots of opportunities for Port Vale. Henry Jones has picked up an injury, it looks like. Can he carry on? I imagine that's going to be Henry Jones out for a few games after this. I'm going to drop down to counter at this stage as well. So it looks like Southend are drawing as well. Last 10 or so minutes here. Dickinson with the throw in for Port Vale. Into Duffy, Rose, and the Port Vale midfield are having so much success. No pressure on the ball, even though we're telling them to close them all down. Martin now finds Edwards with all the space in the world. Good tackle from Purrington though. Back to Scott Tancock. Waters. Henry Jones. Scott Tancock again. Long ball forward to Rowan Liebert, who's got a bit of space in between the lines. He's advancing now. No real support coming though, so Rowan Liebert's going to have to do a lot himself. And of course, he sends it a long way wide. Few minutes to go. Looks like Southend are actually losing. This should be the last highlight. And there it is, a 0-0 result. Overall, a pretty poor performance from the Moors, but it was always going to be a tough place for us to go away at Port Vale. They are a really strong team, and I think the fitness really was an issue going into this game. So a 0-0, but a decent point away against a very strong team. Another clean sheet for us. Ben Purrington with man of the match today. But other than Purrington, not many other good performances from the Moors. Possibly Luke Simpson with a few saves, and Ben Glasgow, as always, having a decent outing as well. So Southend lost at home to Stevenage, and that leaves the league table looking like this. So in form Oxford up into second place now. We're a point ahead of them. 3 clear of Southend, who have lost 2 on the bounce. So we have to face in form Oxford United at home in the next outing. That's going to be a really, really tough fixture, but we've got a week to recuperate our players, and hopefully we'll have a much stronger team, a team in a better condition to face Oxford. And in the next few games, we've also got to play high-flying Newport County, and that'll be away, so really back-to-back tough games in the league. We have to play Exeter in the Johnson's Paint Trophy, so we've already played Exeter this season, and obviously we smashed them 4-1 at home, so I'm hoping to replicate that performance in the cup competition as well. So in the next episode, we'll be back for our home tie against Northampton, again another big team in the league, and another tie that's going to be really tough for us. So a 0-0 draw today. On the balance of it, I think Port Vale should have secured the victory against us. Wasn't a fantastic performance from the Moors, but another point picked up in the league. So thanks for watching again, guys. I hope you've enjoyed the episode, and I'll see you in the next episode for the home tie against Northampton. Cheers.